Hi, my name is Chef Ahki, and I am the author of Electric, a modern guide to non-hybrid and wild foods. It's very important to maintain as alkaline a diet as possible. And the reason for that, as opposed to an acidic-based diet, is because disease can really flourish when it's in an acidic environment. Whenever you digest foods that are acidic, such as breads, pastas, fermented foods, flesh foods, dairy foods, your body is not getting the electrical receptors to the cell and hydrating the cell, stimulating the spin cycle of the cell, which allows the cell to be buoyant, okay, as opposed to aerobic, as opposed to anaerobic, which decreases overall cellular function in the body and really depletes all of the nutrition in the body. It's not able to receive all of the nutrition in the body. There's a lot of information out there about alkaline versus acidic foods, and there's a lot of misinformation about alkaline foods. As a matter of fact, there's a fad of people drinking alkaline water, trying to get as alkaline as possible, which is a good thing, but there is a balance here that's very delicate that we talk about in the Electric Foods book. As a matter of fact, you need some acids to balance your body chemistry, such as structural acids that you would get from, say, limes, preferably key limes, and even maybe the Meyer lemon. So you can learn a lot more about this and other things in the Electric Foods book. Electric foods are non-hybrid, natural, indigenous foods. These are terms that I use interchangeably throughout my teaching, throughout the book. The reason I use them interchangeably is because they really are expressing the same thing, which is a natural plant at its core, and something that has been absorbing sunlight, and something that at its base has carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. There's a lot of confusion about hybrid food and non-hybrid food, okay? What's the difference between a GMO plant and a hybrid plant or non-hybrid plant? And I want to kind of clear that up a little bit. A hybrid plant is a food or plant or animal even that is created once you mix two completely different species, okay? So it no longer is a marriage of the same phylum, okay? And so what happens is you're bringing these two combinations together and creating an entirely new plant altogether. And once you create this new design that comes from the hands of man, not a natural marriage between these two plants, but comes from the combining of the two from an outside source, what happens is you really go in and change the genetic integrity of that plant, and what you have usually is a very starchy, starch-based plant or an acidic plant at that point. So when something is natural, a natural plant is not a starch-based plant, okay? So this is why I stress non-hybrid foods. It's very important to make sure that when you're shopping, not only are you looking for something organic, but you're also looking to make sure that that plant has its full genetic integrity intact, because there are long-term effects on your health when you're eating something that is unnatural in this way. For example, you can find many organic grapes that don't have a seed in them. This is an unnatural process of sterilization, actually through manganese inhibitor that goes into the creation of this seedless grape, okay? But there are plenty of organic grapes that are seedless, and I would suggest you stay away from those. There's also the watermelon, and we love our watermelon, but most of them, though organic, are hybrid and or seedless. There's lots of combinations of new fruits that we've never seen on the planet before, many foods that we've never seen before. People are combining the phylum of different plants and creating the plumelo, or many fruits and vegetables, especially where they're creating new species. The carrot is an example, a crossbreed between a Queen Anne's lace and a wild yam. There are several reasons why they are genetically modifying our food. Some of it is simply for financial gain. Sometimes you can create a plant that lasts longer, that's more aesthetically beautiful, that has a certain smell or texture when you combine the plant. Oftentimes it's simple curiosity to create something new is very empowering and really fun and interesting. And I don't think that it started as something sinister. I don't believe that, but I certainly we're certainly experiencing the results, detrimental results from this crossbreeding culture of plants. When I first came upon non-hybrid wild foods and just learning and trying to understand the difference between my already very soy-based junk food vegetarian diet, I was really overwhelmed. Okay, I thought, wow, it's such a small group of foods that are actually natural that I can eat. And I didn't know what to eat. I would go to the market and feel really out of place. And I thought, I'm not gonna be able to enjoy food in the same way that I had before. And so I really had to open my mind and my creativity. It forced me to learn about new foods such as sea vegetables and to start experimenting. It forced me to go out to markets like the Oriental markets or to the Caribbean markets and try to discover some of these ancient foods. And it really has become a really just beautiful journey. And I've been able to discover new foods, and incorporate new things into my diet. So I understand that it can feel overwhelming at first, getting rid of some foods that you've grown up with your entire life. But there's no better decision than to start incorporating ancient foods into your diet, and the results are phenomenal to your health. I help a lot of people move through this process because I know it can be murky, okay? When you're looking for electric foods, non-hybrid foods, where do you go? Where do you shop? There are lots of food deserts, okay? So daily, I'm online, I'm consulting with people, working through their grocery lists, helping them to maybe find places in their area. I'm actually walking through the markets with many of my clients where I take them on market tours, garden tours, building relationships with local gardeners in order to help clients to start to incorporate these foods into their diet. So those services are always available for people who reach out to me. We can get you in the market and we can teach you how to start incorporating these foods and where to shop. In discovering the importance of electric foods, wild and non-hybrid foods, I've had to work with several people in trying to address their tastes, their schedules, their lifestyles, how to make this food palatable, and how to make it convenient for them as much as possible. That experience over the past 5 years has really led me to the creation of the Electric Foods Cookbook and Lifestyle Guide. I would say the Electric Foods Cookbook is for everyone, but it's certainly for the person who has tried, maybe experiment with a vegan diet or vegetarian diet, and they're still not getting the results that they want. Maybe they're still struggling with weight, maybe they're still struggling with some illness, okay? And they want to go very, very clean with their diet. The Electric Foods book really takes you right into the why and the when, the where, the how, the historical references to indigenous foods and how we're all affected by these new GMO monocropped foods. As I was a young woman moving through trying to understand my health and how to best incorporate plant-based foods into my life, I collected all the cookbooks. I read all the blogs, I studied as much as possible, and I experimented a lot. And I think now, as I am readying to prepare for my own family, I really wanted to find ways to best address preventative health, okay? And I wanted to make sure that we were gonna get everything that we needed to thrive, to not be the weak vegetarian or to be, the overweight vegetarian, or to just make sure that we were getting all the nutrition that we needed. I'm Chef Ahki, and I'm from Oklahoma City. I'm an author, I am a celebrity chef, as well as a nutritional counselor and food blogger. I have cooked for rock stars like Lenny Kravitz, Curtis Martin, and you can find my book, Electric, at www.gochefahki.com.